Part 4, take 2. I got a bunch of these left. Someone asked how I got into racing. Is when I was growing up, I used to watch Daytona 500 every Sunday. I was a child of divorce, and I knew my dad loved racing. So I thought, well, if I watch racing, my dad will, go out with me more or pick me up more and stuff. I was like really young, so I didn't know how it worked. But so I used to watch Daytona 500 and then a few other televised races that were loud or on at the time, because racing wasn't televised like it is now. So that's how I got into it. Todd Bodine, number 30. It was fun. I mean, it still is, obviously. There's Ryan Priest, Kroger. As you can see, why else would I spend hundreds of dollars on old hero cards? There's Jeff Gordon. And 2002. But Freeway Insurance. This is who's that? Suarez? Yeah. This is pretty simple. This is Ostendrick. Discount Tire. Back to my dad. When I moved out with my dad, I learned something evil. Indy 500 was usually on tape delay. ABC liked to play it during prime time. So I found a radio station that I could hear the 500 on. My dad used to go every year, but when he started calling, I found this radio station and play it live, and I listened to it, and I found who won. And then I'd make him give me $5 and I'd tell him. So my dad used to give me $5 every Memorial Day or so, when Indy 500 runs, so that I wouldn't tell him who won. Jason Keller. I was a bad kid. McDonald's car. So, I forgot how many years I did that. 2 or 3 years I got away with that. Oh wow, this is fold out. McDonald's 2013. Jim McRae. And there's this fold out. You see the whole thing. That's pretty neat. So you might try to put an order one time. Just Texaco Havoline car with souvenir fold out. I think that one might have been one of the other videos. So it just excuse me because some of this stuff has started to look familiar. My request, I know I did. This might be a quick one. (2006) Kevin Dale Earnhardt. Richard Childress Racing. Richard Childress. All his teams. No, that's not for you. He's got a shoe. Look at that little rookie banner across the bottom. Ostendrick. Blank back. This is one I've not seen. Okay, this is weird. This is Kevin Harvick. Sonic Racing in front. See Kevin Harvick. Got some ton of coupons. Let's see when they expire. They might still be good. 2002. Okay, so you got Harvick and the coupons. Here you go. There's the inside. Then on the back side, you got Johnny Saunders, one of the younger drivers. And the 2. Oh man, it makes me hungry for a corn dog. Oh well. This is a gentleman that got lots of hassling. Mark Martin in a Viagra car. Viagra just came out, sponsoring it to get, to men. And all the other drivers gave him hell for that. Drivers really have no control over who sponsors are, but they, they picked the right guy to drive it. Tamara can't get up to speed. All sorts of jokes like that. Where's Mike Harmon? Here is Kevin Harvick, the RCR. This is 2004. It's 3 years after he took over the car. They changed the paint job. They had white in 2001 because they didn't want a black one because of Earnhardt. That was Earnhardt's signature color. And then I believe this is the first year they used this paint job. They might have used a one that had a little more black in it, or a little less black than this, and then they went to this one. It had a lot of black and silver. But it was originally white. Scott Dixon. And when I went to Rich Childress, I went to the museum, and they've got the hauler from the year it was that he died, and it just said its signatures all over it because someone started signing it, and then they allowed everybody to sign it. So every track gets more signatures, and you just can't find a spot on there that doesn't have signatures. There's Geico Garage with, let's see who's in it. Max Pappas, IndyCar racer that did that. Peak, and that looks like Kevin LePage. It's like I knew the name, but it didn't know the name. It's like, well, it's on the tip of my tongue. Here's Ryan Truex, Martin Truex's brother. Martin Truex was discovered by Dale Earnhardt Jr. by playing a video game. They played online racing. It's supposed to be very realistic. And Martin was the only one who could consistently beat Jr. I think we had this car before. Someone else. This is Jeremy Mayfield. I want to say Bodine's head on him. Here's Joe Nemechek. He died of, I believe he died of cancer. Kind of cancer, but I can't remember exactly what kind. There's Ashton Thompson. Dirt, and sponsored by the National Ovarian Cancer Coalition. See, is she? No, she's not. She's not an advocate or not a survivor of it, but there you go. Aaron's Dream Team, Brian Vickers. He started out driving for Dan Marino had a team, the quarterback from Miami Dolphins. He drove for them for a while. Ashton Lewis Jr. Military. Let's see, we saw that one. There's Jeff Burton, the Caterpillar car. RCR. Ooh. Sorry. This is a good one I had in my collection. Well, they're all going in my collection, but this one I don't have. Kevin Harvick and shell car, and it's got a 3D again. Look at that. I don't know if it shows in the camera or not, but very similar to the other 3D. So that is cool. I'm stoked I got that. I think we saw that. Excuse me while I go through these. Here's one we haven't seen. Ricky Rudd in a Snickers car. Ricky Rudd, I think this is the car. It won Brickyard, but I think it won. Was it Martinsville But it was a 100-degree day, and they were all dying in the cars before they had good cooling. And at the end of the race, he won the race, but he couldn't get out of the car because he was so dehydrated and stuff. They put IV in him right away. They got him out of the car. His crew lifted him on the car. He laid on the ground. They put ice packs or something on the ground, and he laid on top of them. And he gave his winning speech, victory speech, laying down. That was the only time it was ever happened. Aaron's Dream Machine, Daryl Waltrip. Can't remember if Daryl actually drove for his brother or not. Yeah, I think he did. Investline, CGM Racing, CGM. Oh, it's Jason Keller. Here's a sponsorship I remember quite well. The Nesquik sponsorship. I drank it, but I didn't really drink it. You know, but that rabbit on a car stood out. So that's Nesquik car. Oh, there's there. Oh, Shauna Robinson and Tropicana. Blank back. Parker Klingerman, number 77. He's making his way up. Just 2008. Oh. 2008 on that one. Joe Nemechek. Oops. Sticking with someone's. There's. And Nimco Motorsports history. Denny Hamlin. I'm not sure if I've shown that one before. There's Jason. Oh, these are different. Oh, I'll show them both out. Here's Jason Loeffler, FedEx sponsorship, and Jason Loeffler again with FedEx sponsorship. ABF, we've seen that one. We've seen that one. Sorry, Workman in next door, like the guys I was talking about. There's Ricky Craven. Corey LaJoy, Shooter Systems. There is, who is that? Blake Kane, World of Outlaws. Tab Bodine. Here is a bunch of Harvick's cars. Employer support of the Guard and Reserves. All those paint jobs. I don't remember them all. I remember a couple of them. Chase Briscoe in the Mahindra Tractors Blackback. Dirt Owl. Morgan Shepherd, Faith Motorsports. He went on a long time, Morgan Shepherd. He finally stopped racing recently, but he used to race. It was somewhat still affordable, and so he would get in and he would race. There were several races he didn't have a pit crew, so he would just start the race and race as far as he could and then drop out. And NASCAR finally had to make a rule against that because there was teams trying to make it, couldn't make it because he could out qualify them. But he just used the starting money from wherever he'd finish because the last got pretty good money, and so he would take that money. He would hope someone would wreck before him, but so he'd finish higher up, get more money. And he used that money to sports race team and go to the next race with what little sponsorship he could find. But he was a good guy. There's a few other, they called them, what was it? Starting something. It wasn't starting stop. It's starting. It was something. So first, NASCAR passed a rule you had to have a pit crew, I think, to start the race. But then they went and did a ruling against start and stop or whatever it was called. Here is last Kevin Harvick, my buddy, my favorite driver, and Payday. So there you go. I think I would say that got my money's worth. I'm very happy with him. To be honest with you all, I was getting nervous. First I was nervous that the box split open on the bottom. I mean, both that sides were split open. So I'm like, oh no, how many did I lose? But then I opened it up and it was stacked up to the top with some bubble wrap. He put some bubble wrap on top. The Jeremy Clements autographs were against the sides, so it looked full. So I'm like, all right. Then I took them out and stacked them on the table before I started making these videos, and I saw a lot of them had bent corners, and I was like, oh no, But I got a lot of good ones to make up for that, so I'm very happy. I'm glad I made the purchase. I've got one more coming. I've got to text the guy to his fact. You'll see. You saw his cards in the last video or last normal update video, whatever. Previous videos. Garrett Zakaris. I got some of his hero cards, but I bought. He was selling a bunch of hero cards from Outlaw, Sprint Car, and other modifieds, smaller series. So I bought them. So not as big a purchase as this. It's probably 20, if that, 20 to 30 cards maybe. But that should be coming along. I gotta see where they're at. So, but in the meantime, I got these to go through. So I got my work cut out for me. I'll see ya. I will upload these. Well, I say now, it's over. But you'll see it once a week. Later.